And I believe we are live, guys. Let's see. Refresh the page a little bit here. Yes. Yes, we live. What's going on, chat? Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me okay? We are on a special setup for a special guest interview, so just double checking, making sure y'all can see me okay. Let me check you guys out in the response here. Let's see. Actually, let me check on my phone. That will be the better way. Give some people some time to pop in. We are on a special setup for a special guest interview, so just double checking, making sure y'all can. Okay, welcome to VKH Live, everybody. What's up to everybody in chat? Chat, let me know if I'm coming through okay on your end. I'm looking a little slow on my internet, so I may do some live quick duct tape application if I need. Okay, so there's lag on the video. Sorry about that, guys. Let me make a quick live change and a small mental note to retroactively banish this first part of the stream, maybe. Okay. Let's see if that does anything for you guys. Okay. Welcome to VKH Live, everybody. Let's see. Do I need to go lower? Down lower? What's up to everybody in chat? Chat, let me know. Yeah, I'm just lagging hella bad, so let me what do you need? What do you need from me, YouTube? God damn it. For those of you coming in, welcome to VKH Live. I am your host, Jeff DeWitt. I think you can hear me, but maybe you might be having trouble seeing me. Working on fixing that now. But just give me a quick second. We got a special guest interview, and we've been through way worse before, so I will just switch this around a little bit, and you guys let me know how things are looking. If I can't figure it out in like a second, I'll take us off screen and put us on the waiting screen with the memes and everything in the chat, and you guys can make fun of me and my lack of technical difficulties. Or lack of handling my overwhelming amount of technical difficulties. That's what I'm looking for. So I will drop it down a little bit more. Faster. Let's see here. Let's see. God, man, this is just being really stubborn about stuff. Yeah, we'll just make this the unofficial pre-show while I sort through this stuff, and then I'm recording all of this locally. It's very high quality, so worst case scenario, we'll just update with that.
Okay.
But I'm your host, Jeff DeWitt, and with me I'll go ahead and bring him over so you can see him. Hopefully he's not glitching out too. But allow me to introduce to you guys Shola Aurora.
Hey, what's going on, folks? Yeah.
So Shola is I've been calling you international visual kei artist, if that's kosher still.
Oh.
Close enough, but like very heavily visually kei inspired musician, also inspired by a lot of progressive rock and metal. Based out of New York, former vocalist of Shola Aurora, and currently leading a very impressive solo career. If you guys are looking for international artists that are influenced heavily by visual kei, this guy is at the top of my list personally. So I definitely recommend you checking out his links in the description. Yeah, so I'm sorry, it's like huge, strong bias, on this stream. This probably won't be an objective interview. Not really an interview. We're just chilling, talking about music. You're backstage. Did you just perform, or are you going to perform later? Or are you just chilling at the venue?
I am literally chilling right now. I don't know if the stream can see like a video of me or anything of this sort, but literally holding a beer in my hand that's called Mother's Milk, which I think is super funny because anytime I see anything that like says the word mother, I think of like Sephiroth. Like I'll go down into the store and I'll be like, I don't know, Mother's Jam, and I'll be like, mother. And just like laugh to myself.
Oh God, yeah. What's that from?
Like what, the mother thing, or like Sephiroth?
No, Mother's Milk is from something, I thought.
It's a Hudson Valley brewery. Keegan Ales. Yeah, that's what it's called. Yes, Keegan Ales. Yeah, all right. So we're just gonna let's see. What's it? Unfortunately, PowerPoint slide is making. Oh, what's Shin Megami? Notes isn't responding. I don't know how much works. Oh, that sucks.
Oh yeah, in the chat. Yeah, guys. Do you see? Were you able to see when I had Shola on screen? Again, we are recording this all locally, so if we just decide to go ahead and go with the show, and you can hear us both, I can upload like a hyper high quality version of this like right after, and just get rid of this. But you guys can have the enjoyability of seeing it live and everything still.
Cool.
So yeah, let me know in the chat, guys. I took them off screen for now, but
okay, cool. Yeah, no, so like yeah, I'm here. Thanks, you gave me such a glowing review, and appreciate that. Some of you guys may already know of me. You may have seen a previous interview we did in relation to music. But yeah, my name is Shola Aurora, born and raised in New York City, and I'm a dude who loved visual kei and all the stuff that came with it, and decided to make visual kei-esque music, as I like to call it. So there we go. That's where we're gonna start this.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna try one more thing, and then I'm gonna proceed with it, and just move on. So we'll see what chat is saying, and then I'll just put up the recording.
It's got like the goofiest like picture of me like up on the stream, right?
Oh really? You don't like my YouTubing? My clickbaiting?
It's just like the weird like freeze frame. Like I think I just finished taking a sip of the beer, and it's like, oh, there you go, it's doing a thing, it's glitchy.
Oh, you don't mean the thumbnail, you mean on the stream. Oh,
yeah.
That's where it froze. Okay.
It's yeah.
Oh God, I see it now. Oh no, yeah. All right, we're gonna go hyper tin can stream, guys. We're gonna go hyper duct tape. I'm gonna try one last thing. If it doesn't work, then like I said, as long as you can hear us, that's like the key thing. And if we drop out, we'll start back up. So See, I knew it was good that this was going to be like a good just talk about all things music stream. It's going to be it's highly flexible due to the ghosts that are haunting something in my internet connection, I guess.
Yeah, I'll do it. Oh my god.
Yeah. So let's see.
Let's see. Oh yeah, it seems pretty glitchy. I mean, audio's great, so that's good. I'm glad you guys can hear us clearly. But yeah, I mean, while we're here, why not let's just start digging right into it. So what's in your mind? What do we start with today?
Okay. All right, cool. So I'm seeing in the chat, sorry, right real quick before I go, or before we go into it, this is unwatchable for me, says Axe, because of the buffering. So some people have buffering, some people have sound issues. Okay, again, guys, so, I apologize for the technical difficulties. I've got it down as low as the connection can go. If it kicks back in, it kicks back in. Otherwise, I am recording this all locally, so it's gonna look nice and like prettier than I could ever get it on stream anyway. And I'll just upload the recording like I said. So Wrench Wenches moderators in the chat, if you guys can just let people know that that's what's going on when they come in, I would appreciate you for doing that. But yeah, so I'll go ahead and just start from here and just so that when the recording goes up, it'll start from here. So welcome to VKH Live. I'm your host, Jeff DeWitt. We had some technical difficulties with the stream. So if you're watching and it's starting from here, that means I uploaded the recording because we couldn't get the stream outputting properly due to some weird network issues. So apologies for that, but hope you like the quality of this video. I'm here with a very special guest. I want you guys to give a warm re-welcome, or if you're watching this later, check him out. His links are in the description. His name is Shola Aurora, and I will go ahead and move over the camera to him now. Hello, Shola Aurora, again.
Hey, what's going on, folks? Shola Aurora here. It's good to be back. I am currently beneath the venue of my next show because I work here as a bartender and sound guy from time to time, and a bunch of other things, programming, stage lighting, and just general live performance facets of stuff. And I figured, why not here of any places to kind of like, be talking about music in a music space.
Absolutely. Very appropriate. Highly appropriate. So yeah, I'll just run through it again, but Shola Aurora, New York-based, Visual K inspired artist, former vocalist of Shola Aurora. I want to say you've got like at least 6 or 7 years of experience in the music industry, right? Or more.
It's weird to think about it, because this particular project, the current one I'm in now is about almost 2 years old now. But prior to that, with Shola Aurora, we got some music released in Japan. We played some of the largest venues in New York. We toured Canada. We got to play with Daisy Stripper and Rosenor, so that was dope.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Anime North. What was it? So a couple of years back, I think 2014. Basically with this particular project, it's kind of been just an evolution of that. Like, I'd always had a flair for more of the darker kind of sounding stuff, like stuff that sounded like off of like Gok's Diablost album. If any of you guys like still remember that album, that's like, that live tour is hands down my favorite live tour of all time. Literally, because the man came out on a horse and then rode around the stage.
That madman.
Right? Here in the show, he comes out on a floating casket, and I'm just like, yo, like, if you don't believe me, like, you can pull this up on YouTube. Like, I will give you like the links and what to search, but like that had a prolific effect on me. Yeah, it's been like several years, and it's like a wine, it gets better with age, unless it's just a really bad wine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, sorry, I'm just shooting off a message into Discord. Hopefully they can spread the word a little bit, but we still have chat coming through. I think we still have audio coming through and everything like that. So we're gonna be good to go. But yeah, I'll just get it, make sure it's definitely on record for the final version. This is my personal bias for in terms of like you know international K, quote unquote, you know, internationally inspired visual K artists. If you guys are looking for some really like high quality, you know, an example of like high quality, non-tropey, original, you know, and kind of like, you know, doing it his own way kind of take on visual K from international artists is this guy. Is this guy over here. So
You should listen to Ephemeral. Listen to Ephemeral. Oh wait, can anyone else hear the audio? Oh wait, there it is. Okay, good. We're good. You should listen to my track Ephemeral. It's like, I think as close to like Goth as I've gotten in like years in terms of like doing something of that similar vibe. It's totally on everything. Go for it.
Absolutely. All his links are in the description. He's got a Patreon down there. You know, support your independent artists. If you live in New York City, support your local artists. And also, just as a point of full disclosure, I am keeping track of the stream on my phone and in the apps here. Any of the super chats, if there's any super chats tonight, guys, they're going to both. We're splitting it between VKH and Shola Aurora as a thank you for him coming on here. So just as a heads up, you're not just supporting VKH tonight. You're supporting the artists as well.
Hey.
And yeah. So and if you do that and you send a message, I will definitely guarantee that that's you know, read out here. Otherwise, we'll be doing our best to check the chat throughout. But yeah. Now that we got all the intros out of the way, we're just here to talk about all things music, you know, and just kind of chill. Shola has some great woke takes on music, I would say. You know, you made a ton of killer points in our last stream, which is really funny because that one was like very organized, and this is like this one's the nega version of that stream. Like it's the shadow version where it's completely disorganized. It's going to be completely chill, relaxed, and everything.
We're pretty much just gonna like just let it happen, yo. Like, you know, just it's going down. It's gonna be great. Like, so to give you like guys a little bit of a buffer, so I was at actually anime week in Atlanta. It was the same convention that Rookies is Punked and Miyabi were playing, and I was actually a part of the 50% Dangerous Fashion show, so I got to participate with that, which was really dope. And I think the night after or the day before, one of those days, we had to sit down and you know, just drinks, hanging out. Myself, my guitarist Jeff, and this awesome dude named Adam, and we just spoke about music and stuff, like particular topic, and like, you know, as of recently now, like, yo, I am in love with what Hyde is doing right now, like in terms of music. Like I unabashedly like am so happy with what he's doing, like to the point where if you look through my discography for this project, there are 2 covers from the Vamps project. Like, I've covered Inside of Me and I've covered In This Hell, and I was so close to covering Afterlight, because I'm like, I've had that song a repeat since it's come out. There's probably a other place. Like, I love that song, and I hit up one of my friends who I'm not gonna name, only because of the fact that he may release the cover to it very soon. But I'm like, yo, I'm thinking about this, and he's like, boy, like, I already started mapping out the drums and the guitar. And he just sent me the file, and I was like, well, all right, well, I can't do this then.
So then, which one is your favorite that he's put out so far, would you say?
Ooh, okay, so in terms of the single, Afterlight is just amazing. Afterlight kind of sits right on top of everything. I think generally, like with Vamps, the Underworld album was solid. I can't say I was a fan of older Vamps' stuff, except for like Replay and like Ahead. But pretty much like, you know, Bring Your Own Blood wasn't one of my things, or like any of those other older tracks. But as a whole consecutive thing, the Underworld album was just fantastic. Everything just seemed to flow. One song was really strong, the other song was like so-so. but they all kind of seem like they worked in tandem.
That's all right. Great. Yeah, that was the one that I think I'd referred to that the Afterlight one because of the visuals in that PV. I think I referred to him as motionless and hide for that. Just it's I might as well bring it up because I brought it up that night. By the way, there were a lot of people in chat that were at AWA or watching our streams from AWA. They're very cued in.
Right. Which is pretty savage. However, Motionless in White is doing really, really good. They're on Sumerian Records now, so I don't know.
Wait, really?
Yeah, they're on Sumerian Records.
I didn't realize that. Were they on?
That's the same label that Periphery is on. The same label that Animals as Leaders is on. Same label as Asking Alexandria.
Yeah, but that's kind of recent, right? Like,
I don't. Let me double check that. I'm actually curious.
Did they put out their last album through them? Because I want to say I didn't see any change in where I was seeing the music coming from, but that could also not mean anything, you know. But I do know Sumerian puts out all the music videos usually.
Sorry, I may be wrong. They might be on Fearless. I'm really checking. No, they're. I feel like they're on. They're on Roadrunner Records or Fearless / Roadrunner. Okay, sorry, my fault. False claims.
No worries.
False claims, absolutely false claims. No, but yeah, no, like I can't say I'm like super pumped about the whole Halloween track, which he now Hyde released a little earlier. But overall, I'm just like, yo, like Hyde, like you brought it back to like the 2000s in terms of that rock sound, and like Afterlight just kind of solidified that to me. Production was just done well. That whole kind of Joker-esque sort of vibe in the music video, I thought was just like killer. Like it's such.
Yeah. No, it's a really strong aesthetic. You could say it's a very visual aesthetic. I'd say it's a very.
I see what you did there.
Visual. Something else that comes after that word that, you know, maybe I would want to associate with him, but I feel like I'm forbidden from doing. But like, no, it's, oh man, there's definitely a couple shots in there that's like, I'm like, oh, can I just call you Visual K now? But you know, I get it. Huh?
Like he knows what this is. He knows what he is. Like it's. He's Visual K. That's what this is. Like, I don't think. Well, my question is, I can't say I'm like a follower of Deer and Gray as hardcore, like, because I always joke around. I say this. I'm like, literally, hardcore Deer and Gray fans would have Kyo. If Kyo got up on a desk and took a dump on it, and called it art, they would like the Polaroid pictures of it with the date signed by it. You know what I mean?
Oh man, we're going right there.
Go on there.
Yeah,
we're going, and you know, don't get me wrong, I love like Deer and Gray, some of like their more of their older work, everything from like Ouroboros going back, and then some of the other singles, but like the fandom is just insane to me. Like, and like,
have I told you? Yeah, I actually we have a fun little meme that has been developed in light of the Deer and Gray release, just done playfully, but I think it's going to have a lot of application long term, beyond even just Deer and Gray. So, for Deer and Gray, Shinya tweeted out a picture of him with with the eyes from their Insulated World album cover, like photoshopped over him,
right.
Over his eyes. So like and then at the same time, I thought that album cover kind of reminded me of like the. I don't know what it's called, but like the big brains like meme where it's like all of those different pictures of like brain scans of having like giant mental epiphanies and stuff. Yeah. So I ended up adding like a woke aesthetic to the Deer and Gray streams when we did it. So and I kind of came up with woke metal, which is a meme we've been persisting now. Is that it's like, you know, the idea is it's like avant-garde metal now that it's become a bit of a trend, and in some places kind of a craze. I would say you could teasingly use woke metal to describe avant metal gone too far. Like,
I, wou- I wouldn't say that. I mean, like, look, you could say like bands like Animals as Leaders is like woke metal or something like that, or
they might have influenced me. Don't kill me. It's the contrast between metalhead or like really experienced metal fan and like normie when they listen to like anything prog basically. Is it's like
right.
to someone who's been listening to it for a while, it's like this shit is wild. And then like I'll show it to somebody who doesn't know any, like who listens to more regular stuff, and they're like, this I can't follow this at all. So
No,
but my working theory is that I keep seeing in comments and stuff like that, you know, all these references to Duran Gray on these newer bands that are coming out with their own twists. Mm-hmm. And so I'm wondering, like, at what point does this just become, like, I don't know, something we get tired of talking about, tired of avant-garde. I've said avant-garde metal on stream a whole bunch of times, and I'm just worried. It's like you can only get into something like really unique, like what Duran Gray's doing, or what like Dimlim has been inspired to do, for example, by Duran Gray. You can only get into that so many times before it's not that avant-garde anymore, and then after that, what happens?
Well, I don't know. I feel like at least currently, not necessarily just, well, let's put it like this. I feel like I'm hitting that like weird like old man like sort of like vibe of like Visual K, where it's just like I'm trying to find newer bands, but like, you know, if you've listened to what like what was I gonna say, like Despair's Race Cole said, or like any of their other stuff, or like, you know, early Gazette or Duran Gray or like Lunacy or like No God. And you know, or even like some bands that fizzled out, like Lizmelt, who were like one of my favorite, you know, bands.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
You know, it's just like a lot of these bands have the, you know, the look, but they just sound the same. Like, and I'm just like, don't try to sell me on what I already have. Like, these songs already exist. You guys are just rehashing them, and then I'm cool. Like, there's a few bands that like definitely kind of push it, you know. Like that Orange music video by Acme, that was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, stuff, dope. Like Nocturnal Bloodlust, dope. Absolutely. Yeah. Like I fuck with those bands. Like they're great.
Did you see Dada Roma's PV preview? They just came back from hiatus with a new drummer.
I didn't see the PV preview, but I saw the articles. Literally, you guys are kind of like you guys are like my news source outside of like bands that I'm like actively following.
Oh shit! Okay.
So you know, shout outs to, you know, VKH. You know, this is this sounds good. By the way, those Lunacy X Japan like memes that you guys have in the actual like the group.
Oh, you know, you saw the Boomer K memes.
So gold. So.
All right, you got it, guys. You heard it, guys. The memers in the Discord. We got an artist endorsement here for the Boomer K.
Like for any of you guys who are actually like friends with me on like Facebook, I actually had a whole thing that was like, you know, Lunacy is better than X Japan. Like, you know, changed my mind. Just to light a fire, because honestly, like, I want to be a fan of X Japan as avidly as a lot of people are, but I just don't see the appeal. You know, whereas Lunacy was the first, I feel like X Japan seems very stagnant. They did like, I get what they do, and they do this thing. Like, it's like you're getting a Hershey's bar, right? You know, you're eating it. It is what it is, and that's it. Versus like you getting, I don't know, a decadent, super expensive, like I don't know, ice cream with like multiple flavors or something like that. So this is a weird analogy, all right? Mm-hmm. But you get what I mean.
Absolutely.
For Lunacy, at least for me.
What did you think of what Yoshiki said they had an interview with I think with Arma Japan, or they may have reported on it from somewhere else. I'm drawing a blank, but he described the like what the upcoming album was going to be like. Did you hear any of that?
No, but I'm just like, just release it. I don't care about any of your descriptions. How many years, man? How many years? Like, wait,
Yeah.
how, what's the rating for this chat? Because I do like to use festive words.
Fully uncensored. Just
Yeah, like,
well, I mean, it's not a problem for you, but like, I don't know. Maybe stay away from like racial slurs and homophobic slurs because YouTube filters shit. But that's literally the only thing I know of. Otherwise, like, yeah, we say fuck all the time and stuff. So,
okay,
like,
cool. In that case, I'm just like, dude, like the cock tease is real for that album. Like, how many years have you guys been waiting for this album? You know, like how many
yeah.
how many years has Yoshiki put it back? Put it aside for all these ridiculous things. Like Skin was a thing until Yoshiki was like, I'm too busy. Everybody else was ready for it. And like, what year did that thing happen? Which was amazing.
That was like 2006. What was that? That was Gact, Yoshiki, Miyavi, Sugso, and the bassist. Oh, what was the bassist? The slap bass boy. Oh, what's his name?
Remember Slap Bass Boy? That's funny.
Slap bass boy. I think he's the guy from Bullseye '88 or I don't know. He does Ikuo. I think it was Ikuo. It was either Ikuo or Juken.
I'm not even gonna pretend to remember the name, but my point being is,
yeah.
Like, you know how many albums they could have sold just on that one premise alone?
I mean, if they did it today, they could objectively like break down doors that that Yoshiki seems to have been spending years trying to work his way in to like LA and stuff to break down those doors, but something like Skin would, I think it would be more disruptive, more, just kind of inherently innovative, having 5, different artists collabing,
I look at it like this. Even now, like wow, that's actually, you do a show with those guys, like they actually become a thing. Like, even now in this day and age, all those guys still have pull. And like, if they did something like that, like I could easily see them. Maybe Madison Square, like in New York, I could see that. Or maybe if you were able to get like Hyde and Gax together on that particular project, or expand it even further, like, because Larkin C already did Madison Square, and I believe they're the first Japanese band to do it. You do, you combine like, the pull from X Japan, Gax, Hyde, Miyavi, who's now, he's already now internationally known. He's done films and stuff like that. Yeah. That would like a president tour for Japan. I don't see why they don't do it.
Yeah, I think it's like you said. I'm guessing it's like what you said, that the Yoshiki being busy thing. We did a live stream where we just like went through press releases that we didn't have time to report on, because we try and keep stuff music centric. But he's doing like 8 billion things outside of music as well. Which, I mean, there's opinions to be had on that, I guess, as well. I don't know. It's really interesting though. I'm curious. I think some fans would be interested. Some fans would be anxious at what he said, even though it's because he has kind of taken this save rock and roll attitude and theme. It sounds like with the album, it is going to be a bit more rock focused, and it sounds like they're going to be doing a lot of experimentation with other genres. Honestly, personally to me, it sounded like he was describing a Hide album more than like an X Japan album, but it was just a brief soundbite. But he specifically focused on innovating with rock music to integrate with newer, more modern sounds to bring back rock and roll.
Here's what I feel like. The name X Japan sells. That's it. You like, even like, unless I'll be real, like even when Lunacy dropped like a few that last album, and they were dropping like singles and being a part of particular animes, they at least dropped tidbits. They had dropped singles here and there, like previews. I'm not getting any of that. Like, I don't care like how epic X is. Like, I need to hear what your music sounds like. Like, I'm not excited for any of that stuff. I'm just like, it's X. I get it. They did a thing. They won the first, but like, let your music, speak volumes. Like, I can go back and listen to a Lunacy song from 20 years ago and like, well, not 20 years, 10, 15 years ago, and like love it. And I could show it to somebody else and they're like, holy shit, and maybe that might be a thing for X fans, but I don't think it has as much universal reach. What was I gonna say? Let's shift gears for a little bit.
Sure.
What was I gonna say? So there's people in the chat. You guys got any questions? Because we're just throwing bones left and right here. That and like while I'm drinking mother's milk over here. Oh man, that just sounds terrible.
That is
great.
from something. Someone said Jared Allange for Mother's Milk. I'm not. I feel like I know what this is from. It wasn't Mother's Milk. It was like some sort of horror movie where it was like. Oh.
I mean, we do have the power of Google. That Kyo comment.
Yeah, I'm desperately trying to like get my fucking internet to. I don't know what the. Let me see if I can grab my hotspot real quick so I can get in on chat because I'm even locked up on my phone.
Yo, but it's true. Like, and I have like friends / associates who like breathe, like who would literally bottle the air. If they could, they would bottle the air that Kyo expels, and would painstakingly suckle it day by day as if it was a drug. Like I love the meat band, the fandom, to some degree can be nauseating.
This is going to be a great experiment because for every dislike we have on the video, which we really don't get dislikes, that's going to be how many hardcore Durham Gray fans this is resonated with.
Yo,
this is going to be great.
Addition to Akura no Oka to make up for it, that's fine. I will take these bullets gladly. However, come on guys, stop it. You know what this band is.
All right, so here's a question I want to pose to you then. At what point do we stop calling the sounds like... So have you listened to The Insulated World, first of all? The new album?
Nope.
Okay, so have you listened to Arke?
Honestly, I'll tell you, after I listened to the album after Ouroboros.
Dumb Sparrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I vaguely listened to Arke, the album after that.
So you've lost interest, kind of.
Yeah, it's just.
If you want to keep it real, yeah, that's fine. I'm curious where you're at because in light of that, because people are doing that at different points throughout each of these albums, I would say.
Don't get me wrong. I saw like a lot of the music videos, like the one where it was like an all white sort of like a set, and they're like sitting like in this circular sort of like dome table.
Yeah,
it's weird. So I've seen some stuff, but like
the visuals and the PVs were on point. I will say that.
I'll go back and I'll periodically like listen in, but it's just like, okay. Like, and Darren Gray's not the only one getting these hands. Like the Gazette, I like almost none of the songs off the new album.
I love almost all the songs off the new album. I'm gonna have to fight you on this one.
Dude, no.
Look, man. They made it to number 21 on our iTunes chart. Oh. Are you aware of that?
Cool. So there's a bunch of crap on the US iTunes charts, yo.
But there's no but
come on. Even start that. Do you not see the climate of this country right now? And like just music and all this stuff? Like there's some great
that's what I'm saying is that they hit on something to get people to pay attention to that on a mainstream level in spite of the fact that they are still very heavy right now, which usually excludes you from that.
You know what it is? Again, I have a bias because of the fact that I've listened to a ton of their stuff. So a lot of
you have a bias because you miss Dim though, right?
You watch. Don't speak of God tier Gazette unless it's just good things to say.
Right? See.
Dim is like God tier, yo. Like, don't. Okay, so actually, it's Dim. It was was great. Like, and most of the albums before that, like Nil, Stacked Rubbish, fantastic. However, there is a newer album that like definitely resonates with me. I'm trying to pull it up on my iTunes just so I can make sure I don't like say Beautiful Deformity was a good album. Beautiful Deformity.
Really, you like that one? I liked it a lot too. I was I. It's a very first of all, like the fans are in agreement with you. By the way, we ranked the Gazette albums. We had the fans vote on them, and Dim came out a hard number one, a pretty hard number one. And
Yeah.
my personal favorites, which were like Division, came like second to last. So I got blown the fuck out. So it's not like you know. I just want to set the stage in all fairness for people. Like what Shola is saying is a pretty popular point. Just so you know. I know I espouse my opinions on this show. I just want it to be known that, you know, in terms of popularity, I might be getting blown the fuck out on that one particularly.
Yeah. I mean, like,
But yeah,
like,
Beautiful Deformity is pretty dope.
like Dim was a dark, gentle kiss. Like you're going through some like shit, and Dim just is like, it's okay, man. Just let me stroke your ear while you're in this like depressive state. It's good. It's good. It doesn't get you out of it, you know, but
Yeah.
it's comforting. Like there's
Depression. It's depression comfort ear candy or something.
Yeah, it's like it's good alone cry music.
Good alone cry music. I got those vibes from the ending track for Beautiful Deformity, which was Coda.
Yeah.
That is a legit alone cry track for me. I will fess up to that. Like that is,
Dude, lost.
If I'm at a point where it's like I've been in the zone all day and like really stressed, and I just know I need to go have like a breakdown. Like if I'm having like a really bad day, this happens like once every 2 years maybe. If there's like some crazy high stakes shit going on in my life, I will. But I'll be in this point where it's like I'm leaving wherever I was dealing with stuff. Usually it's like a really intense job, day job or something.
Right.
And I'm like in that man mode where it's like I'm instinctually trying to push it down, but I don't want to anymore. I'll go in, I'll just like I'll put on the song and just like when it like drops and the female vocal starts screaming, I just like let it all out for like 10 seconds or 20 seconds, and then I'm done.
Are you an ugly crier, or are you like the like
I'm
is
probably
it
an
full
ugly
on like
crier.
or is it like a just subtle kind of cry?
I'm not good at I'm not good at making noises while doing it. You know, like I have like a small little like frustrated like wail or shout that I'll get out real quick into my pillow, and then I'm done.
Oh man, I'm the silent cry. Like you'll just see the tear come out, and they're like, oh no, it's raining on a very sunny day. That's what happened. You know, allergies when there's no trees around. Yeah, that's what happened.
It's just my allergies, bro.
You know, but yo, my songs like literally like Fadeless was on Beautiful Deformity though. If we're jumping a little forward, yo, you had Fadeless, you had Redo, you had Last Heaven and Lost. Lost is my favorite song on that album. Lost hurts my soul to listen to.
Interesting. Yeah, there's something for everyone on that album, and so it's always interesting to hear people with different like preferences and backgrounds like talk about it. You know, so
well, for me, it's like that particular track just seems. It's like one of my philosophies with music, at least making music and enjoying music, is I want to feel like I'm being immersed in this world. I want to feel like the moment I start listening to this track, I've stepped into whatever realm you're trying to create, and lost from like that kind of that sort of like stretching staticky sort of like a few seconds of the intro right into like the delayed and reverberated lead guitars. While you still have like I always sort of like don't like sort of super echoey delayed stuff to just create that wall of sound. It's like you don't have a choice but to be like, oh wow, this is happening. What is the story of this song? And it takes so many turns. And like if I were to compare it to any of the songs that I have put out, it's like Despondent. You know, it's not it's
yeah, where you packed everything into that song.
Yeah,
like what would be the phrase? You empty the arsenal into that track. You know?
It's pretty sad writing that song. I'll tell you that much.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Like the all the sad guy tears, like which is funny. As I was writing it, like I got better, but the song got darker until the end. And like, I reached out to my Dope Bang, the co-writer, such guitarist, and he's just like, he reads the stuff and he's just like, yo, what happened though? And it's like, I'm good, I'm okay, I'm good. He's just like, you sure? Do I need to call you? It's like, but yeah, I have an affinity for those kind of songs. That's what drew me into rock music in general. Which is funny. My rock journey started. Well, I know we're jumping on a super tangent, but I know it just feels right. So
it's fine. We'll circle back in a second. I know where we left off, so we can get back to it. But go for it.
Cool.
Go wild.
I'm
being a host boy. I'm being a good host boy over here. I got you.
Before Visual K, new metal, Linkin Park, were the guys that got me into rock. Hybrid Theory and Meteora were the teen angst feel albums for me. So that already created that precedent for me. Another album, which you may or may not consider a guilty pleasure for me, Maroon 5, Songs About Jane, which have, I think their debut album, which just have a bunch of sad guy songs. So I always have an affinity for sad music. And Lost is just like, ooh, the feels, just like, who hurt you? So, those songs stick out. And then Dim is the ultimate Gazette sad guy album. So, there we go.
Damn. Yeah, there you go. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the through line, the sad through line. But yeah, no, I can definitely see it. I'm much more frenetic, energetic kind of stuff. So that's why stuff like Ninth is up my alley. That's why controversial, dualistic, seemingly unworkable stuff like electronic music in with rock music is always drawn to me. So I like bands that will they'll just put it all on the table. And I mean, you get some bangers and you get some flops, but I like that.
I feel like there's a lot of VK bands that try to do the electronica stuff flop hard. But
they don't have that edge. That's the thing. The Gazette will never make an electronic rock song that's going to make you want to party. None of their songs do that. Everything about their dubstep sounds like there's something wrong with it. Like a virus got into it.
Okay, that's completely not true, because I actually I used to throw a Gazette themed party in New York, and I would definitely have some Gazette in a club, not my house. It was an actual big venue in the city. And this was off of the what album was this on? I think it was Division. It was off of the Division album, and there were some songs that I could see myself partying, Inside Beast. I could totally party to that, absolutely.
Inside Beast is the closest, but I'm just saying and I've seen since we went out when we first met up in New York City. You showed me around, so I know the kind of clubs you're kind of the kind of clubs up in New York City are so much cooler than the average nightclub I'm used to down here in Miami. But I'm saying if you go to super normal / super mainstream, / EDM friendly, which is also mainstream, nightclubs out here in Miami, it's good vibes or bust kind of thing. So
I'm all about that aggressive flavor.
as am I. So that's why I found it very refreshing, because I am around a lot of EDM music. I'm around a lot of EDM junkies. It's very much a party scene now, how rock and roll was a party scene multiple decades ago. Sex, drugs, and dubstep is a very popular shirt down here.
Which doesn't sound edgy at all.
No, it sounds lame, and I want to punch everyone I see that wears it. But I'm just to illustrate my point. That's the kind of scene that they're in. So to get this coming out of the other side of the world, where it sounds like and looks like, if you look at the PVs or the Division lives, it looks like they hijacked a DJ's set and then blew it up at the end. Like it was pretty refreshing to me. Like just to see that level of it's its own kind of subversion.
So on a random side note, just to have a bit of saving grace for the Deer and Gray fans, tomorrow, which is in a few hours actually, even though I just totally shat on Kyo taking metaphoric shit on a desk, I actually have an event that I'm hosting, which I plan to make a monthly event, a completely rock and roll themed party in this huge venue I work at called the Six Ugly Party. And we literally used the Six Ugly album cover and whatnot. We hired one of the best rock DJs.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
We've also got Zach Aura, who will be DJing as well, or down on a lower level. So it's, look, I like him. I love Deer and Gray. It's just, not everything. Just don't kill me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have a question though. How long until the sound that everyone calls Duran Gray sound isn't Duran Gray sound anymore? Because you hopped off after Dumb Spiro Sparrow, and other people hopped off after Arcade, and I'm so on this last album personally. And it's not like it's any slight against them, really. It's just they really are full-blown crazy experimentation, and they're not going back. But there's newer bands that are inspired by the sound, like that creepy horror, obscure kind of sound. Like Dimlim. Like Dimlim gets a lot of comparisons to Duran Gray. But if I play you Dimlim's debut album that came out in August and Duran Gray's latest album, they sound almost nothing alike now. So at what point does that sound become its own genre, its own sub-movement, and not like the copyright, quote, the social copyright of Duran Gray, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, well, they're getting to that point where they're going to become like a legacy band, where it doesn't matter what they do anymore. They've earned their dues, and I respect them for that. So I think they might actually already be getting there. I'd much rather see I forget, one of the members had a side project that sounded very Sugizo-esque, and I just wanted to see that expanded more.
By the way, sorry, can you move your camera down a little bit? You're sliding off the screen a little bit. Sweet, there you go. Perfect.
Kyo did his own side project, which seemed like more of like a gothier, if you could say, version of what he does in Deer and Gray already. That's
hyper avant-garde. It's hyper woke. That shit was. I mean, that shit either blew me out completely or completely amazed me. I wasn't sure. But yeah, he was going very experimental there. It's very ambitious.
Yeah, it's just not. It's unless you blow me away. What was it? Fadeless? Not Fadeless. I'm sorry. The newest Gazette music video. It didn't do anything for me. I'm sorry. I keep going back to the Gazette, but I'm just not following Deer and Gray that often. There's not a lot of bands that do it. Let's put it like this: if Maximum the Hormones said they were dropping a new single, I'd be like, holy shit! Maximum the Hormones dropped a single. I already know it's going to be gold. I've never had there's never been a bad single for me from Maximum the Hormone. However, they haven't had as much of a release time. However, their show actually in New York was more packed than Gazette's show in New York. And I was at both of those shows. So,
okay.
So, there's
your camera tilted back again, sorry. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, cool. Wait, actually. Yeah, okay, perfect. Perfect, right?
Yep. Yeah.
It's just, damn, I totally lost my train of thought here. Sorry. All right.
Yeah, you were drawing a comparison to Maximum the Hormone, that if they dropped a single, you would be all over it compared to.
There's certain bands where I'm excited, when they drop new music. Like I'll even give you an example, and yeah, you can call it like the anime influence, but like what was it, Overworld, like the stuff that they did with My Hero Academia, like which I thought was really cool. That track, that
Oh,
single
okay.
for the OP. Like I was like, that's a dope song. And I actually looked at the video, which actually is a lot longer. There's like it's a lot more interesting and whatnot. I'm a guy where if I like a song, I'll try to find the live version of it to see what the actual performer performs it like, the music video version of it, and not just a 30-second like single. I'll like stalk it. Like even like talking back to Hyde, and yes, I'm Hyde fanboying at this point. You have like over an hour of me fanboying about this guy. I literally for weeks like to see if there was a performance of Afterlight outside of its Instagram live stream. Whereas the other tracks are there. But not too many. The point being is there's when a song hits, it hits. I just haven't gotten that feeling, and I want to. I definitely want to be thrilled. I want to be excited, but unfortunately,
yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Finish your thought.
unfortunately, because of the fact that I've heard so much of the material already, I've heard a good chunk of the tricks of the trade and all this other stuff, and even now, like I'll hear stuff and I'll be like, yo, but did you like? I'll hear people talk about current digger. I'm like, yo, but have you ever listened to Gauss and like just what they did for the time with limited and not limited resources? Like they flew out to Europe to film freaking Akura no Oka, like that music video. Just that level of like detail and dedication. That I don't know. There's a certain magic that it's kind of lost these days.
Yeah. So I'll say I have some updates to give you on this because you raised a lot of these issues really briefly, but I'm glad we're bringing it up again back on the last stream that we did earlier this year. And I've been keeping it in mind and noticing more of what you're saying, with them sounding the same and, really was kind of hurting the indie scene for a while, especially, I think, right? But I will say there is definitely a changing of the tide in the industry as of like this summer. I don't want to jump the gun or anything, but I think the chat will know what I'm talking about if they can still see us. Otherwise, people will hop in the comments, I'm sure. But I think we're gonna have like a small little Visual K renaissance, pushing end of 2018, beginning of 2019. And I'm not talking like just the major bands, which, by the way, like, the Gazette. I think the Gazette's album was the right move in terms of. If you haven't listened to have you listened to the full Gazette album?
Oh yeah, no, dude. My thing is out to ninth. Yeah, I gave it a whole listen. Unfinished is my favorite song.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll be really interested to see what you have to say about what I'm about to get into. So you have major bands like the Gazette and then LMC also shaking up their sound a lot. And I'm seeing like I think there's a couple other like major VK bands that I've seen this from. Durga kind of did this, but not as much. But it's like shorter in length albums, like 40-minute albums, but hyper skilled or high quality production value, especially in LMC's case, and then like insane levels of experimentation to expect from any of those bands in any of their career points. And that's interesting. But from what you're telling me today, it's like at a certain point, if they're set in motion in a certain way, it's not gonna come back to what I think is going to like fully pique your interest. What I do think is going to fully pique your interest is that